Good evening. I'm just doing this video tonight and having an awesome time tonight, just checking out all of my courses online. I'm taking a new program. I'm so excited about it, learning about the legal system in Canada, what our rights are. So it's, very relevant in learning all of this at this time that we're living in Canada. I really feel that, we need to know what's going on, like to be really alert and to understand what's happening in our nation and other nations as well. I've been just listening to, different people that are mainstream, and people that are Christian that are really beginning to see what's going on with our country and what's going on with other countries as well, and about the one world order, something that we need to understand as First Nations people. I really believe it's crucial at this hour. I was watching this video of Bill Gates and his wife, and they were propagating and encouraging people to get the new vaccine, and that vaccine is not even researched properly. It's not even looked at, investigated properly. And as I have been researching myself, I'm really great at researching. And the thing is that I'm learning more and more that this vaccine has not been completely researched or looked at or developed like other vaccines in the past. And we need to understand what's coming down the pike besides the vaccine and the agenda with the masks. There's an agenda. There is clearly an agenda behind all of this. And we need to understand, as people in Canada and as First Nations people. When I was looking at that video, it basically said, Bill Gates' wife was basically saying how, the people that need to be inoculated with the vaccine are people of high risk, which means Black people and Indigenous people. If you ever look at that video, you will see clear as day that they're saying that. So from my understanding in the past, whenever that has happened, it's always, had some negative effects and ramifications for those people group. And we need to understand this. We need to see what's going on. So I urge you to look at it, to research it, to understand why, we need to see these things and question why. Why is the government doing this? Why is it all of a sudden everything is being shut down, all across the borders, and all across, the provinces. Different provinces are having different regulations. Like here in Edmonton, it was passed that we had to wear masks, and if you go online and you check out different places, there is no legal binding law for you to actually wear one. So you need to research it for yourself. I did a couple of different places. I do have a mask exempt card, and if you're interested in that, message me. I'll forward you the information. I'll forward you the site. They've done tons and tons and tons of legal research on it, why they should not be forcing people to do that. They're actually going against the law and the Constitution in Canada. So this is really important for us to know in Canada, for First Nations people. It's something that they're going to try to pass eventually, that we're inoculated with this vaccine, which they have not even researched properly. They have not checked out. It's very important for us to know this and that our loved ones may be in jeopardy of being taken from our own homes or our children. And our people know far too well what that's all about. We lived through it through residential school, the 60s scoop, where the kids were just snatched out of the homes. I wrote a book on it. And if you're interested in my book, just send me a private message. I'll send it to you. It's called Scooped. And it's my story. And it's a booklet, and I'm adding to it other people's stories as well. So yeah, it's just something that has happened, with our people, with the systemic racism, with the systemic societal breakdown of the family unit within the First Nations. So we understand all too well, what this is entailing and what this is about. So people, let's wake up. Let's wake up, Canada. Wake up, Canada. And understand that this is a real thing that's happening all across this land, all across the globe. And looking at videos where they're, arresting people for speaking out at any level in Australia, in Victoria, Australia, and different parts of the world. Coming in, trying to create our country into a communistic, fascist nation. And that's not the nation that I was born into. That is not the nation that I signed up for. I had several uncles that were, soldiers in the military, in the Canadian Armed Forces, that died for our freedoms, that died for the Charter of Freedoms and Rights in Canada. Look it up. Begin to study it. Begin to understand what is your rights. Begin to understand. Stand up for yourself. Stand up for your family and for your children, because it's our children that are going to matter in the end, and our grandchildren. As a grandmother, a First Nations grandmother and great grandmother, that I am going to say something, because the lives of my children and my grandchildren and great grandchildren, they matter. The Indigenous lives matter. So it's something that we need to speak out about as elders, as mothers, as fathers, as a community in the First Nations all across this land. Begin to research, begin to find out, begin to make some, petitions on your MPs. It starts within the local governments. It starts with your ban office. Begin to find out what they're doing. Begin to see and question what the government is actually doing. What is their agenda at this time? I've been looking at so many things right now and what's coming down the pike. We need to be aware. We need to be aware and to wake up and not leave our heads in the sand. Canada is famous for, it says we're the peacekeepers. Yeah, but we're so so afraid of any confrontation. We have our heads in the sand. And this is not the time to do that. This is the time to wake up. And I declare the sleeping giant awake. It's something that we need to see and realize, that there's a lot more going on than this virus thing. That they're just using this for their own agenda. So I urge you, and I pray for every household, that's watching. I pray that blessing every day over my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. The blessing, the Aaronic blessing, may God bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you. May God be gracious unto you, and may he give you peace, shalom, upon your household.